Ow.
We're live.
Hi.
Almost died.
Hey, how do I look?
There we go. Good morning. How do you guys like my new hat? Sarah got it for me for my birthday. Cinch, I guess it's some new cowboy brand or something. I don't know. Anyways, my birthday this year was farmer cowboy themed. So I got my first pair of overalls. So that's pretty good. I should actually be wearing those. I'll try and wear them next week. Anyways, Sarah will be with us momentarily. And I thought what I could do is kind of kick things off here so we maintain our time. It is Friday, May 13th at 10:02 a.m. And yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff going on. Let me see if I can get in the screen a little bit better there. I have to put it down a little bit when Sarah walks in here. We have a bit of a size difference going on here. Okay, so thank you for checking out Live with Bottleneck, the special edition called A Week in Review with Jaime and Sara. And the title of this today is Almost Died. So I'm going to hold off on just a little bit, but I'm going to tell you, well, maybe it didn't almost die, but let's just say I felt alive this past week. So as soon as Sarah gets back in here, we'll jump into that story. A couple things I wanted to just kind of do, some house cleaning and stuff like that, so that if this is one of the first times you're seeing this, basically what we do is we talk about what happened this past week, what's happening next week, and then we're going to give a couple shout outs, and usually lasts about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, something like that. And in case we're having a really good time, we'll end it sooner. But yeah, it's a lot of fun here. And I guess I'll just kind of jump into some conversations that that we had this week. So I'll go ahead and get started. Ooh, I hear Sarah. So perfect timing, actually. Here she is. Let me slide on over.
Hi.
See if I can. Oh, that's better. You should control it.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. You should do it with your left hand.
I could try it. I can't think. Okay, so welcome to A Week in Review. I'm going to go ahead and show the title. What does that mean?
Like almost famous? Almost died?
I almost died.
Your life passed before your eyes.
Why in the heck would we name something Almost Died? Well, figure maybe you'd get one more person to click on it. No. So, what happened?
I looked up and I saw Jaime in the tractor right above me, and he's doing this. And the tractor's on two wheels going this way.
That was last weekend.
Yeah. And he saved it.
Did.
Of course.
Oof. Yeah, it was pretty gnarly because we were on an incline, and and we were trying to build a road to level it out. And so I had moved forward because there was a stump that Sarah had chainsawed this tree, but she left a good, 3 or 4 feet so that I could get to it. And I thought that because I had turned it over and pushed it down, used the backhoe and all that kind of stuff. And then I thought it was just laying there. So I thought, well, I'll just move it to the side with the loader. it was still attached. And at an angle already, you put the load on this side, it went up on 2 wheels, and I was like,
yeah.
and
Looks on our faces were just like,
yeah, it was pretty gnarly. So, yeah, I thought, oh gosh, heart was pumping, and I thought, okay, I'm alive. And it's kind of funny how it takes incidents like that every once in a while to remind yourself that you're indeed alive. You get so set in your ways and all that stuff. Not to say that we have a boring life or anything. It's pretty fun, but that's the reason that I wanted to title it that way, is to just kind of take a step back and realize how alive you are, and maybe do something exciting out of the norm. Let's scoot this way a little bit. So
which way?
That way. Oh, there we go. Now we're centered.
Okay.
I guess maybe not. There we go. So anyways, that's the theme, the underlying tone of what we're going to talk about. So I guess now I can put up the graphic, wonderful, beautiful graphic about what happened this week.
What happened this week? Well, besides you almost dying, had some challenges. Some clients that miscommunication with DAs and with clients, and all it takes. Yep. So all it takes is a phone call. You clear up what happens, because so much is missed in a text message. Because sometimes you get an email. Sometimes you get an email, and the person that is sending you the email is either in a hurry, or they're very emotional at the moment, or they really don't read it through and think about what it actually says, and they send it, and you're like, oh my. You get it, and you're like, wow, they're really mad. So a client, well, first of all, we had a DA that discussed some things that are that they're not allowed to discuss through they sign a memorandum of understanding, and we had a conversation, and it was completely just a miscommunication, a misunderstanding. And once Jamie's really good at talking to people, so once Jamie sat down and talked to him, everything was squared away and everything's good. And we had a client that looked like they were just so frustrated with their DA and just hated it and didn't want to continue the service. And then we were talking to the DA, and the DA's like, well, she's not communicating with me. I'm not getting any feedback. I don't know what's going on. And there was just some miscommunication there. And so, then the team, once they know about it, they didn't know. They had no idea this was going on until Chanel actually in bookkeeping got a message because of billing. And she's like, oh, I don't know what to do about this. I'm like, that's Rach and Jovelyn. And so Rach and Jovelyn, they just, it's so awesome. They're just handling it. They're talking to her. They're seeing what's going on and seeing what we can do to rectify the situation. I mean, there's some frustration going on there, evidently, on both ends, but we don't know why. So, you have to communicate. If you don't communicate,
so what else happened this week?
We saw Black Widow.
Oh, we did see Black Widow.
Yeah, got it on film.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
And then I guess for me, we talked about some pricing. So it looks like we're going to look at maybe looking at our pricing and see how we're going to be tweaking that, because with the new website and the automated sales process, with this new matching tool that we have, a decisive tool, I guess is what it's being called, people are able to shorten the amount of time it takes to actually hire somebody. And that's really good for our clients. And then we need to integrate the subscription for that. And so we've been taking a really good look at costs and pricing to see how competitive we can make our own sales. Not as far as, we're not comparing ourselves to other companies. What we want to be able to do is make it as affordable as possible based on our current business model. And we're going to be tweaking that just a little bit. And then Chanel, who's been amazing, is putting together a break-even analysis for us so that we can kind of figure out exactly what will happen once we introduce the new pricing model. It's pretty neat. So we're going to be, what we used to do is include the integrated services program, which is when you hire an assistant, you also get access to a graphic designer, a web developer, and an audio and video editor. So what we're going to do is make that an option so that we can reduce the price. We have about 60% participating in the integrated services program right now from our existing clients. And so that's pretty good, taking advantage of the offer.
I have a question about that.
Mm-hmm.
Cut you off mid-sentence. Of that 60%, how many were brought on board before ISP was a thing and after ISP was a thing? Because I think the percentage that use ISP is much higher than 60%.
No, it's not. We actually broke out we broke it out, and it's actually a little bit more than 60. It's like 63%, but 64%, something like that. I can't remember exactly. It's just over 60%.
So see, I should have been in that meeting. I wouldn't have asked that question.
Well, not really. I mean, no, that's good though to ask that question, but it's kind of, but that brings up a good point. Why should you have been in that meeting?
Just to, I guess, know that.
Okay. Well, so
but you can't know everything.
Exactly. And so this is a huge thing right here. So meetings are important, especially if they're run efficiently and effectively and they have energy and all of that. But do you really need to be into every meeting? I have learned that kind of the hard way. I'm the freaking owner. I need to know everything. Well, do I? Do I really? No, I don't. So I'm not in all the meetings anymore. And that was weird for me because I know other people are making decisions. But guess what? I trust them to make decisions. And that's one of the hardest things, in kind of letting go a little bit. But I'm glad you brought that up because you don't necessarily need to be in every meeting. Now, would it be nice to know that? Sure. Yeah, of course. But it really has nothing to do with your role, right?
Well, kind of does with pricing and accounting a little bit, but that's okay.
But you have so many other things going on. You know what I'm saying? That, like, where do you draw the line?
Yep.
It's kind of hard to figure all that stuff out. So that happened this week.
What else happened?
So what else happened this week is we talked to Phil Singleton, and it looks like we're going to be starting a pretty cool SEO campaign so that we can get ranked up there. He had a lot of positive feedback for us. He had a lot of recommendations and constructive criticism. Really, really, really powerful conversations with him. He's an amazing person and doing really well in his own right. But I think we're going to be engaging him, so that's pretty neat.
Mm-hmm. You know what? I got up and I checked Basecamp, and our internet was down this morning, so I was just checking it on my phone. I got this really long message from Chanel, and it was about, so we're bringing on an internal DA full time. She's been working in the medical side, and now she's coming over, and she's going to do another 20 hours a week on Bottleneck. And Chanel had laid out a whole proposal of how we do the pay and split it up between, and how we would do that with accounting. I'm like, okay, yeah,
really?
Thank you.
Ooh,
yeah, I didn't have to worry about it. It's
wow,
pretty awesome. I was like, oh,
I'm telling you, we're
blessed.
We have such an amazing team. There's a secret that's going on right now that we're going to make you privy to here in probably mid to late June. But it entails working with a new person, and they're doing a project for us, a writing project. And what's really exciting is seeing the updates from this person in Basecamp. I've never met this person yet. However, I said, thank you so much for all the great detail and all this kind of stuff. And she says, I couldn't have done it without the great instruction from Crystal. And like, it was like, not like I wasn't trying to pull that out or anything like that. She just offered up that like kindness, and it's so cool to see all the, everybody's leading with kindness, everybody. And that's the culture. It's really, really freaking fantastic. So that happened this week, which I thought was really, really impressive. And I can't wait to talk to her.
It's really cool how everybody feels empowered.
Yeah.
I mean, these are, if you empower your team,
Let them make decisions.
It's amazing how everything flows and how much stress is taken off us individually. It's just, I can't like, wow.
It is pretty cool. I just think it's amazing seeing the Bottleneck work, the organization, and everything come together. It's amazing. And then one other thing that happened this week, I actually got to sit in on two Bottleneck Academy trainings. If you don't know, we launched Bottleneck Academy, and that's where we train people and teach them the Bottleneck way and teach them the different roles that we are offering. And it was really neat to go in and like this one group, they were training to be personal assistants. And so the exercise was, I believe it was JC said, or Jara. JC, I sat in one with JC and one with Jara. They were the trainers. And JC had outlined this little program saying, okay, you're reporting to me. I need to book a trip to attend these events. And one day I want to have fun with, my partner. And, I'm going to be gone for 4 days and I need you to book the flights and all this kind of stuff. And it was really neat to see. I saw a presentation by one of the participants in the academy, and they broke it down. Okay, day one, it's going to be at this time. Here's your confirmation number. This is when you're going to be going. Your first meeting is here. This is the hotel you're staying at. Here's your confirmation. Here's the address. This is your driver's name. I mean, it's just so detailed out. And then on the third day, you're going to Disney World or whatever it was. And then you're going to have dinner at this place with here's your reservation. And I mean, it was freaking amazing. And I was in both groups were unbelievable. Now, we're paying for all the training for the participants in the Bottleneck Academy, because we did a lot of research and we found a lot of people were charging a lot of money. I think it's JP Morgan or Bloomberg. Yeah. They're charging like $3,500 to train somebody, to put them into an internship program. Not even paid.
Yeah.
And now I get it. They need to learn the industry and stuff like that. But how are people able to afford this when they're trying to break in? So we thought, okay, let's pay for it. Let's get them in. And then there's something to be said for buy-in and having that, if you pay this, then you're going to be more, serious about it. These people were coming in, like when I attended, it was like 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock. That's like 10 at night in the Philippines and like 1 in the morning in the Philippines. It's crazy. And they were all there, super excited. I got a ton of positive feedback from both JC and Jared that they were very communicative. If they were going to miss something, they let them know. But what an amazing opportunity to meet these people. And they all thanked me. And I was like, no, thank you. It was really, really awesome to see how that kind of was transpiring. And we have a barking dog. So I'm going to go settle him down.
It's just the postman.
Oh, it is?
I'm sure.
Okay. So we're back.
Over.
But yeah, so it made me feel like, wow, we're able to effectively make changes. And Sarah and I were pulling it out. Let me stop him because that's driving me back.
So what's cool about it is the reason they're coming on at like 10 at night and 1 in the morning is because they have to have a job to pay the bills. So they're still in school, right? So they're either working or they're in school, and they're doing this training when they have time. And the time they have, after their family responsibilities and things of that nature is very late at night and early in the morning. So it's quite a commitment on their part. And they think this is so great that they want to better themselves. And we're so blessed to have the relationships that we have with the University of the Philippines, that new graduates are coming out and they can't wait to get started. They can't wait to get training because it's like going to college here. You get formal training, but then you get thrown into the real world. And what do you really know? Nothing. You know what you learned in a book, but you need real world experience to be able to apply what you learned in those books. So that's where Bottleneck Academy comes in.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. It's working well.
Yeah. Yep. It was a proud moment. Proud moment. Should we talk about what's going on next week?
You betcha.
Okay.
What's happening next week? Oh, workflows. Monday. Payday's
May
Monday.
16th, big KPI.
Yep. And then what's happening Wednesday? We get back the forecast report from Chanel.
Mm-hmm. Break-even analysis.
Yeah. Sorry. Yep. And that's about it.
It's a little busier than that.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
So next week is we had a 3-point plan for this 3-pronged approach to this quarter. One of them was to launch Academy and get that going, which we've done. That was set up for April 15th. We hit that target. May 16th is for all the documentation, and we're pretty excited. That's Monday. So pretty cool there. So every single task, everything in our process will have been documented and put into a workflow manual. And then the third thing is launching our automated sales process and the new CRM tool, which we're moving from HubSpot over to Go High Level. And our last day with HubSpot's the 26th. So we're testing it right now. And that should be done within the first 2 weeks of June. We can't nail an exact date because certain information needs to be acquired over this testing time. And so that's kind of vague, but somewhere in those first 2 weeks of June. And then the latter half of June, we're going to be really cranking up the system so that we can move into the third quarter, July, August, and September. And I've got some great, we have 5 things that we're going to accomplish in the next quarter. So yeah, there's a lot of planning going on, a lot of hard work. This is 5 months in the making.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's pretty exciting.
big deal.
It is a big deal.
Anything else?
I don't think so.
I think, is it here?
I'm going to leave. I won't be here next Friday.
No, you will not. You
What?
are leaving.
Yeah, I will be. My sister and I are taking my dad to Florida for a couple of days. And I get text from him. He goes, 8 days, 8 days. Can you send me the itinerary again? I deleted it somehow. Okay, yeah.
And so I'll be cheering her on here. And then what's really cool too is because we're so busy, our advisory board is amazing. Instead of meeting with them once a month, because of what's happening right now, they were all kind enough to say, yeah, we'll meet with you in 2 weeks. So next week is a kind of an advisory board meeting that was unplanned.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, thanks to everybody for helping me out there. Yeah, busy.
Yep. So are you ready for shoutouts?
Let's do shout outs. This is so exciting. It's Bottleneck shout out time, people.
I love my husband. Well, of course, I've got to give a shout out to Chanel. Of course. I mean, she's killing it constantly. I don't interact with a lot of the guys very often. Most of my interactions with Joplin and Rach and Chanel. So I should, give them a shout out every week. So I'm going to give a shout out to the St. Louis Blues. They made it to the second round. Yep. And
taking on the best team.
No, the best team is taking on the Blues. I mean, the best team is taking on the Avalanche.
Yeah.
And there we go.
Yeah. That's your shout out?
Yeah, and our neighbors, our new neighbors that have been so helpful and so gracious and so neighborly.
Made us a bluebird house.
Yeah, made us a bluebird house. Really cool. Anyway, Ronnie and Vicky, safe travels to Iowa today. Have fun. We'll see you back in a week or so.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
Anything else?
No, love you.
Love you. Well, I'd like to do a shout out to JC and Jara. Thank you very much. You invited me into your trainings and just kind of let me chat a little bit and watch what you were doing. And I cannot believe what you guys have built. So it's pretty amazing. And it's really, really impressive. So I just wanted to take a moment and say thank you to JC and Jara both, because you are impacting a ton of lives in a very, very, very positive way. So seriously, blessed to have you on board, blessed to have the entire team, but specifically because I was able to participate. It was the first time. I really appreciate how detailed, how organized everything was, and you're really setting people up for success. And yeah, it's pretty exciting. We're going to have some lucky clients that get placed with these trainees. It's pretty amazing.
And Maria, welcome to the other Bottleneck team.
Yes.
And
welcome.
Yep.
And a happy second anniversary to GM.
Oh, that's right. What was that? Thursday? Wednesday?
Yep.
Thursday.
Yep. Yesterday. Yeah. So thanks to everybody. Special happy birthday shout out to your sister.
Both sisters.
Amy. Oh, yeah. And Cody.
Cody was the 10th. Yeah, there were a lot of birthdays in my family this month.
And happy birthday to my Uncle Mike.
Yep.
And yeah, it's, man, like middle of April to middle of May. It's like,
yep.
And then June.
Yep. And then June. And then August, it starts all over again in my family.
Yep.
Something in the water.
Something in the water.
Yep.
All right. Anything else?
Wish Jamie luck on repairing a hydraulic hose by himself.
Oh, yeah.
He can do it. I know he can.
It's going to be interesting.
Yep.
Yeah.
All righty. All done?
I think so. I think we're good to go. You want to go ahead and take us home? Oh, you know what? We didn't show any banners that whole time. So I'm supposed to be going like this while we're talking.
That's okay.
So that you can see. But I just want to show everybody all of our stuff. It's so fantastic. And how do you go on, quit repeating yourself, and join our partnership? How do you live? Almost died.
Mm-hmm.
Take us home.
All right. Learn how you can break through the bottleneck in your business today by going to Bottleneck.Online/BTB. You can find all the episodes of Live with Bottleneck and we can review. Lucky you. And quit repeating yourself. What a great
They are. That is lucky.
QuitRepeatingYourself.com. QRY. Hashtag QRY. Almost died. And last week, disrupt the market and wipe out the competition by setting priorities and staying laser focused on achieving your goals with Jonathan Goldhill. I guess he's the president of Jonathan Goldhill. And that was last Wednesday.
It was a good conversation.
Nice.
He's really insightful.
Cool. And then coming up this week is Mark Monchek, founder and chief opportunity officer of Opportunity Lab, helping business thrive through disruption. Oh, that sounds interesting.
I haven't talked to Mark in like 3 years. This is going to be cool to catch up.
And the name sounded familiar to me.
Remember when we were with David Schreiner Kahn and we were walking around New York?
Uh-huh.
And he pointed to a building. There was a big brick building as we were walking at the
elevated.
The skywalk or whatever it's called.
Yeah. The
and he
old
goes,
rail.
that's Mark's office.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
So kind of cool to connect with him again. And yeah, that's about it.
That's it. So, bye-bye.
Don't forget, create your own Ripple. You can learn more by going to Bottleneck.Online. This is an episode of Live with Bottleneck Special Edition, a week in review with Jaime and
Sara.
And I hope you have a wonderful day, and hope that some of what we've done it helps enable you to stop the bottleneck in your business. Have a fantastic day. Create your own result. Ripple. Focus. Listen. Kindness. Implement. Talk to you soon. Maybe.